Picking up, the group of you have found a small reprieve, a natural rock formation, which required a bit of squeezing to get into, especially on parts like Dunnan, who are strongly built um, to make it back here, but sufficient to be able to probably get some shut eye in. You set a watch and were interrupted in the first few hours by a black pudding. You fought one of these previously. It fell rather quickly. It was disturbing that something does patrol or wander these halls other than the forms of you and your companions. Dunnan and Siegfried completed their rest quickly, uh, and while the others finished up their rest, they decided that their watch shift, the last of the three, would be best spent wandering the nearby halls, trying to head off any type of disturbance prior to it reaching your quiet camp. The group of you explored a good bit of the surrounding dungeon in this space. To the east of the long, wide frescoed hallway, you found a squarish room with three plinths. Upon each plinth, a large egg-shaped crystal. Touching these crystals, one at a time, they had a ripple of light pass through them before fading once again. Each of them had similar effects, albeit slightly different colors. Behind a tapestry to the south of this room, you did find a secret door, which leads to your resting area. To the north of this room, there is a locked door. All of these have a aura of abjuration around them. Three crystals in the locked door, and Siegfried has surmised that the four enchanted items are somehow linked, although he's been unable to surmise anything further than that. Dunnan and he found a small supply room with a pouch of coin, and then found a larger chamber, domed somewhat, with a square column 10 foot on a side, 10 to 15 feet on the side, supporting the arch of the entire room. There were four tapestries placed around this room, all presenting gruesome scenes of famine, war, strife, death, grotesque depictions of difficult concepts. Behind the tapestry that symbolized seemingly death, there were specters that assailed the two of them. Just, although well-equipped, the two of them were able to disperse these few undead and found a secret passageway here. Deciding not to quite partake in this new secret as of yet, as it would draw them a little bit further away from the resting companions, they have doubled back. And this is where we are picking up. The group is fully rested with the exception of Dunnan and Siegfried, who have used some of their resources for the day already. We are picking up here. It is now the 25th day of Kithorn, I believe. 25th day of Kithorn, I am correct.
I guess the others are awake now.
They are. Their tokens will remain in the space until they show up for games.
Alright guys, everybody rested up. Me and Siegfried did some exploring. We didn't venture far, but we found a secret passageway. We should continue as the whole group. Let me show you, I'll get you there.
I will follow.
You'll follow? Okay.
And
Yes,
be
picking
wary
up
of the
the-
tapestries. They summon some, I don't know, ghost-like creatures, so just stay away from them. And with that, he turns around and squeezes through the small passageway again.
Okay.
That Lukas good food and Willem's bacon. And he grumbles into his beard.
As we
Yeah.
as we progress, I would like to keep my nose to the air for any fey fiend or undead.
Okay. You are keeping your nose to the air. Noted. I will ask if I need a check for any reason. Let me adjust your tokens up to where Dunnan is. There you are.
Alright, follow me, guys. And he scrambles forward.
Doot, doot, doot.
When we reach that room, Dunham points over. Siegfried and I couldn't figure out that door up ahead there. We tried magic, we tried the crystals over here. Nothing seemed to work, so... No. It's a problem to deal at a later time. What I want to show is over here. Follow me.
Ellie wonders refer to herself if they possibly just knocked on the door. Just to be polite. But that's all.
And here you see the tapestries I mentioned.
These are the
Just,
spooky ghost tapestries.
Alright, yes, correct. And we found a secret entrance at the back of this one over here. And when Siegfried touched it, the ghosts appeared. But it should be safe now.
Yeah, beginning on the northeast tapestry and rotating clockwise. There is. Pardon me. The symbolism of a conquering tyrant. That's the northeast. Southeast is a world in battle. All manner of races just fighting everybody. There doesn't seem to be any type of banners or sides on this. The southwest is emaciated humanoid forms, persons starving or death from starvation, and empty, tilled, and barren fields. And then the northern one is a city that you can see in the distance on the southwest one. The northwest is more in the city proper, empty. The only personified individual on it is a single person in a cloak that seems to be tending a graveyard. And that's the one that has the secret passage upon it, of which I think I've removed the dynamic rating.
Yes. Just to be sure, I'll use one of my divine sense resources, just because I can.
Sure. Pop divine sense. You Don't feel anything terrible, any individual presence. The space in which you are currently standing does feel desecrated, though.
Well, no creatures around for now, but something's very wrong. Or something happened here that made it very wrong here. You guys ready?
What's the deal with his door?
I don't think we tried, right?
You've not.
I'm not sure. I think I tried to open it, but it didn't open. So I would mention that to Eolus. We
Did
were
we want
more
to?
occupied with the ghosts and then the secret passage over here, but didn't dare to venture forth. Just
Well,
the two of us.
Are we confident that we can handle whatever's down there?
Are we ever?
Well,
Which direction are you heading? The secret passage or the locked door?
the secret passage for now. Well, we handled ourselves pretty well so far, so I guess the answer is yes, we are confident. I mean, I am
Alright.
at least.
There should be sufficient space for you guys to be able to move your tokens in. Yeah.
And we're going up slightly,
Yeah.
right?
Correct.
Okay.
So there's a sharp incline to the hill, about 40-degree incline. Definitely steep, hurts your heels a little bit as you walk. A few loose stones sort of tumble out from underneath your feet and go crumbling back down before hitting the back of the tapestry and then sort of resting in that space. As you ascend slightly, all your passives are high enough. You hear the sound of flowing water, a little bit vigorous, as you enter this chamber. It's echoing. You're not sure where it's coming from, but you just pick up on that sound. Who's in the lead, by the way? Is it Dunnan?
I guess yes.
Okay.
You hear that? There's some flowing water around here. Is there something in that room, or just stones and rubble?
No, stones and rubble.
Alright. Let's find out if we can find some fresh water.
After
Or if
you.
this- or if this possibly ends up back at the
Dunnan, roll me a
waterfall.
wisdom save.
Hey. +10.
Okay.
There you go.
I deciphered all.
Yeah. So as you push into this space, the air feels damper to you immediately. And a shiver runs down your spine as, echoing in your mind, you hear nursery rhyme. You knew as a child. You'd forgotten that it was still in your memory. Recited in a voice unfamiliar to you. As it finishes, there's this cackling laughter that just sort of rings through your head and bounces around your skull like an echo chamber for a long moment. You shake off that uneasy feeling. The two of you notice Dunnan just sort of froze for a few seconds and gave sort of a shiver and
I guess he
was
just
fine.
kept looking around, just trying to figure out where the source of the voice is coming from.
Everything
guess-
okay?
You hear that too? had like
Mhm.
some, I don't know, some cackling voice, rhyming. So, from a very past memory.
I'm gonna
Weird.
slowly move into the space.
Pushing the space. Looks to be another stone chamber. Most of these, it seems like they were used, at least in part, to create the pavers necessary for the entire space. So you're commonly finding sort of chunks of wall that have been carved away, or half chiseled slabs made for creating the stone pavers that occupy the space.
Right.
But there doesn't seem to be anything of interest throughout here. Let me see through your token's vision. Yep, okay, that's it.
This isn't any. This is not the time to start remembering our childhoods, especially, with only 3 of us here.
Trust me, that wasn't by choice.
Great! That makes me feel so much better.
If you haven't noticed, this place is very weird.
The only thing weird about it is the present hay smell.
It's gotten very
Donan,
damp in here.
as you push out, your vision expands, walls sort of vanish from ahead of you, and you hear the gentle lapping of water on the shores of this subterranean lake. They're rocky, not sandy. Not 10, 15 feet ahead of you. As you sort of look at the water, it has this dark, milky texture, sort of presence within it, obfuscating any light being cast deep into the waters. And not far out, there is fog that lays thick, and you can see a 10 to 15 feet sort of into the fog before it totally obfuscates your vision. You have no idea how far this lake stretches, in which directions, and you cannot see into the water.
It is rather unnatural. Dark, brackish water down here, and some unclearable fog ahead of us. Yellow, I'm pretty sure you want a sample of that water, right? Or whatever that goop down there is, as he looks over the edge.
I mean, I can certainly take a sample if you want me to.
I don't want a sample, but you are always very keen to take samples of everything. Goop, creatures, water.
I'll lean over and
You touch the water.
yeah.
Take out a vial, reach your fingers in, let it flow into the vial. There's definitely this sort of cloudy texture to it. It's like milk and water. As you stop your vial for a moment, make me a charisma saving throw.
Oh boy.
You're within 10 feet and you get a +4.
Okay. You have this intrusive thought well up into you for a moment of just jumping in, bathing, taking your time in these smooth looking waters. They're inviting, comforting. Quickly squash down that intrusive thought, though.
I know exactly what that feels like. The water that I have in the vial,
Mm-hmm.
Can I like sniff it?
You inseparate, sniff. There's no scent that you smell otherwise. It smells like water.
Using my Hanasi abilities, can I not fully shocking grasp the vial, but like start an electrical charge, see if it
Roll me a
separates?
spellcasting ability check.
Here we go. Where?
Uh, 12. Sort of spark a little bit. You're trying to not break the vial. This is a fragile thing. It's not like you're doing anything else, and you predict the water will be some degree of conductive, based on the fact that there's particulates floating in it. It doesn't seem to react in any particular way.
Okay. That's all I was looking for. Well, it just looks like a massive body of water. There are no blue crystals in it, thankfully.
But also nowhere to cross, right? And I'm
Do
not
you
keen
think-
on going to go swimming here.
Yeah.
Oh, let's turn around for now and take the other path.
The path diverges. Two roughly hewn staircases, both ascending from your current position.
I turn around to Eolus and take both of my thumbs, left or right. And just shrug.
Elrest?
Right might go back towards the lake, so let's go left.
Alright.
Don't blame me if something bad happens.
No guarantees. They are still damp in here.
Slightly. It's rapidly lessening with your distance from the water behind you. You grab a description for this space.
At least the air is getting lighter.
The smell here is really what overcomes you here. Not the feeling of moisture in the air, but the smell of rotted meats. And there's off to your left as you enter Dunnan, east on the map, there's a basket of rotted fruits. They look relatively recent. And then as you sort of enter the space proper and proceed around the stalagmite merged column that's sort of present within this space, you find two corpses.
No corpses?
No.
Okay. Can I check them for
You
any
can. As you
wounds or...
scale up to the corpses, they're sort of tangled in a pile. The bodies are broken, annihilated. Not skeletal. They are somewhat fresh by comparison to other things you've seen throughout this space. Make me a medicine check as you examine the two bodies of these Goliaths.
Can I give him guidance?
Sure. Throw a d4 in there. 10. You gather that these corpses are maybe 3 weeks old, maybe 4, roughly. Based on the presence of the rotting meats and fruits, you suspect that it was part of a supplies that were brought in with these two. The bodies, though, have been snapped and broken and bent in ways that would be excruciating if it was done when they were alive. You suspect it might have been.
The gear they are carrying, is it more like fighting gear, like swords, or more like, I don't know, mining gear? Or craftsman?
Make me an investigation check. Sort of go through all their stuff proper. You find a couple short swords. One of them does have a brace of hand axes, sort of in leather eyes, that are tacked onto sort of a bandolier belt.
I'll take those.
They don't appear to be miners.
Okay.
They're not the most well equipped for like hard battle, like you might be, but
guards, like guards.
potentially.
Yeah.
Your instincts tell you scout, but you're not sure beyond that. Is anyone else checking? The group, you can make one more check of the bodies if you would like.
How many hand axes did they have?
4.
Yeah.
4 hand axes.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll another investigation check, Eolus. And we'll say that's for them and the rest of their gear. Pretty good. As you sort of sort through the things that Dunn's not looking at, you find a small pack that has some hardtack in it, which might still be salvageable. It doesn't look like any of the juices of these rotting fruits have sort of leached onto them. So you can add 2 rations to your inventory if you care to take it.
Okay.
And you find a scroll tube. It's this sort of stiffened and hard leather, preserved in such a way that it, when the cap is affixed to it, it forms this watertight seal. It's not totally waterproof, but up to certain depths for certain amounts of time, water's not getting inside.
I will definitely take that with us.
What?
Does it appear that I'd be able to open it?
There doesn't appear to be any latch on it. There's a leather sort of cap that sort of fits snugly on just by tension.
I'll pop it open and take a
There's
look inside.
There's an audible sort of squeezing sound as the leather drags over leather. And inside you find a rolled up piece of parchment. It feels vellum-y to the touch as you extract it and unfurl a map of areas of land you're not familiar with. You suspect it's of the northern half of this jungle and the coastline surrounding it.
And with that thought, can I think of any areas that we were previously in to see, like, where we may possibly have entered?
Make me a... You're not proficient with cartographer's tools, so you need to make me an intelligence check.
Alright.
Pretty good. You feel quite confident that the map that you're currently looking at doesn't overlay with any features upon the one that Siegfried carries. They are 2 entirely different maps of different regions.
Okay.
But you are quite assured in this that There's definitely no overlap. Even based on the sort of rough-hewn mountains on the eastern edge of the map that you're now staring at, you're pretty confident that those mountains don't line up with the ones that Siegfried has, as far as you know.
Okay. All right. I will place the map back in, copper the tube.
Add northwest map to your inventory.
Malleolus does that, then kneels back down and turns to Helirest and says, "What exactly do you think happened? I mean, this looks horrible. See how this leg of this one is cracked in one direction? This massive force
Whoever
must have...
whoever did this to these people was very angry.
Wait.
I wouldn't say who, I would say that whatever. I don't think any humanoid creature, at least to my understanding, can do that.
Can do what?
We have seen the bodies. Most of the joints are dislocated, and it must have been a horrible death.
A Goliath might be able to do that, but the fact that they haven't been eaten, really, or just left to rot, nothing came along and ate them, says it's got some kind of a mind. So that's a person to me. Hold on, what? Ellis, what?
When we found that hidden room behind that shelf, I found remains stuffed in a barrel that they were broken, like snapped apart.
Well, they were at least stored away. So somebody went through the trouble of getting them there, but they are here, left to rot. So,
well, perhaps whatever did this likes a certain flavor, but if it's able to store stuff away, it has some intelligence.
At least it's very brutish and strong, whatever it is.
At that, I'm just gonna drag the Soul of Steel over the back of my neck and activate a right.
Okay.
God damn it! It was half my HP.
Maybe a perception check as well.
I just shake my head when he starts snipping himself again.
Nothing.
Kelly's got a passing interest in the belt with the two loops for her axes.
It has 4, and they're eyes that are specifically fit to hold the
whatever
the
that
4 hand
belt
axes.
is. Did anybody take the hand axes either?
I took it down, yeah, the 4.
Okay. Just one? Or all 4?
I took 4.
Oh, you took 4. Okay. Yeah, she's going to take the belt and put her hand axes in it.
Okay.
She likes it better than what she's got.
Sure.
Is there any way to follow, like, if there are cracks in this area? Is it hard packed or?
It's stone pavered. With unless otherwise specified, every space you've entered has stone slabs set as the floor throughout it. Even the spaces where seemingly work to create the stone pavers has been done. It seems like the floor has been finished before anything else.
Okay. Well,
one of the few you just passed through one of the few spaces, that sort of hilled area that was hidden behind tapestry. That and a few rough-hewn steps that are made out of the living stone itself are the only places you found so far that don't have worked area placed on top of them, you suspect.
Okay. All right. I will keep that in mind. All right. So we have what? 3 different ways. Which way do we want to go?
Just shrug. Healer's choice.
I don't know. We already kind of seem to be going up this way, so let's go. Ooh, down or up?
Inhale.
Anybody
It's
taking
getting tight.
notes on how to get back?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
Dunnan, you approach a dead end. It's just natural stone in every direction. Stops.
Seems like I chose wrong. Is there anything on the floor? Anything at all?
Make me a perception check if you're looking around.
Can I start to run my hands along the walls?
Sure. You can make me an investigation check.
Ellie just keeps an ear out behind them to make sure they're not being followed.
Gotcha. You do a good once-over of the space, and then Dunnan does the second over, or vice versa. You feel pretty confident. There doesn't seem to be anything here. It looks like this was a dead end, maybe used to quarry some slabs at some point, but has since been abandoned. You see no evidence of travel or habitation within this space, like some of the other spaces that you've encountered that have other dead ends where people have sort of maybe taken shelter here and there, but there's nothing here. Just chose wrong.
Well,
Okay,
we
back
have
down.
to backtrack. Let's take a look over here.
Dunnan, as you round the corner, you hear voices.
I immediately hold my fist up for the others to hold, and turn around, put my finger on my mouth, like, shh. Hear what I said.
Make a stealth check for me.
Oui.
Ellie's going to cast Pass Without Trace just to help.
Noted.
Oh, wait, no, she doesn't have it anymore because Siegfried had it. Shit. Okay, no, we're just
Okay.
going to be noisy.
Aeolus, and Helares at once stealth checks from you as well, please. Since you're moving as a group. You hear the voices conversing in what sounds like the common tongue, but they're not quite close enough for you to make out specific phrases. You hear a few snippets of words every now and then that help you identify the language being spoken, but nothing much beyond that that would be considered usable. Done. It's at this point that you realize you're holding a torch in a darkened corridor, and you hear voices ahead of you. And you quickly shuffle backwards, causing a little bit of noise, but trying to hide the light.
I'll shuffle to those. Ambush them or turn around.
Well, if we want to ambush, probably should put the torch out.
I'm just not equipped with the armor. It's just too clunky. I don't know how well we are hidden and can approach. would also be viable to get a little closer to listen in on their conversation.
I mean, if we want to, I can try.
It's your call. I'm ready for whatever.
Well, we could end up possibly with a fight or trying to talk our way out of something.
Always ready for a fight.
I'll start to try to sneak up to
Uh,
see.
make me another stealth check because now you're trying to do a different action than just hiding. As you approach. 9. Okay.
Why?
Alright. You're about 15, 20 feet up. And the voices solidify. The corridor does sort of turn slightly here. So you're hopeful that the light from Dunn's torch didn't actually reach direct line of sight to whoever the speakers are up ahead. As you carefully peer around the corner. Give me 1 sec, I gotta measure something. Okay. As you carefully peer around the corner, your eyes catch light as well up ahead of you. You see the entranceway through which you had come originally, and the spot where you were pricked in the neck by the single still-armed dart trap. That sort of carved room far ahead of you. In the midst of that room, sort of milling about, looking like they're setting up sort of a base camp, is about a dozen individuals, Goliaths. The conversation that you overhear sounds to be from 2 guards on the forward end of their position, which is the closest to you. And they're talking about, and those slaves come back out yet. Probably all dead. If we find them, we kill them anyway, so no big deal. Maybe they find something, and we get this from their bodies. The other one replies, yeah, still nasty business. I know she's on this time schedule, but I'd really rather not have to be skulking around in here for too long. And says, well, at the most it's a month, and then we're done. She said she needed everything done by shield meet, so definitely gonna be well before then, by the time we get out of here. I mean, if we're not successful, let's not just think about that. The gravelier one replies, yeah, I suppose. So what is this thing with the alignment that she went? Don't know. Not my business. Not paid to know. Just told, go here, do that, kill them. I'm very good at those things. You and me both. The conversation turns to less interesting subjects after that.
Okay. I will. About how far away from them are they?
Because they are backlit by the light of their small sort of base of operations that's been established in that space ahead of you, behind them. You gather you're maybe 80 feet from them. You're just outside of what you suspect is their range of dark vision.
Okay. I will turn back around and will quietly proceed back to Hellerast and Punnin.
You are able to do so.
I will quietly inform them of what I saw and heard and where the area lets out at.
Well, good choice that we didn't ambush then. 12 seems rather a lot. So did you hear anything interesting?
Well, they were sent here to gather an item. They seem 100% dedicated to killing anything that exits. Whether it be slaves or, I don't know, a group of assholes.
Well, good thing we are not that kind of assholes, right?
They seem to be everyone's favorite kind of assholes.
Mm. Probably true.
Seating. There's a small sort of ramp in the space here, followed by more rough-hewn steps. And you come to a made corridor. It's narrow, only about 8 feet in width, and about as high. Very slightly domed, or arched, I should say. There are small alcoves along this corridor. Gives you the feeling of a mausoleum.
Sorry, I had family talking. Can you ping where you are?
Yep. I'll jump your token along.
Okay, thanks.
There you go.
Yeah. Extends my senses again.
And I would
Don't
like
move your
to...
token, Hallerast.
Yeah, I got it.
Gotcha. You're moved.
Oh, thank you. My computer's very funky right now.
I would like to also follow up with that with my Hunter's Bane.
Dunnan. You detect the presence of undead to the south corridor. Now, the corridor does extend to the north, about 15 feet past that barrier, to a wooden door. That's the barrier of the corridor that you just went above. Let me see if I can adjust that. Lighting. Was I smart? I was smart. There we go. So that's the corridor that you sort of had passed by. So it proceeds northwards. It also proceeds southwards.
I feel some undead to the south. And I point down.
Looks like the corridor sort of opens up to a greater width to the south, and then your vision ends.
You still want to investigate? I don't want to get ambushed by some weird zombies.
Well, I mean, we should probably see what's behind here. And I'll point towards the wooden door. And worst comes to worst, we're just clearing everything out. And
Alright. Let's try the door then.
As we continue moving forward, I'll swap my focus onto trap speaking to the best of my abilities.
Okay. I'm gonna jump your tokens forward myself. The door is unlocked. I'm gonna make it open. There we go. And not trapped as you sort of enter into this space. You find a room that has painted on decor around the walls. They are natural scenes. Wheat being harvested, animals plowing fields, tethered to tills. It's all agrarian in nature. No depictions of humanoids anywhere within the room, though. There are 4 doors, one of which you came through. East, north, and west remain.
I'm still unsure what's that place supposed to be. Is it like a temple? Is it a cavern? I can't figure it out. What vibe do you get, Eolas?
Honestly,
Maybe it was a dining hall? Some other kind of meeting place that they just moved all the furniture out of?
honestly, I can't say. This entire area stinks.
The entire cave stinks. It
Well, I
used to
mean-
be used for something else. Like, this place sucks, but we're here, so.
Well, if we're able to find another bone wall stone,
Yeah, of course.
left, straight, or right?
You pick.
Sure.
Roll a dice. I don't care.
Are all 3 doors of the same construction?
The one to the north appears slightly more ornate and not terribly so, but the hinges are made of a little bit more flair on the wrought iron that sort of binds the door together. It's a nice touch, but it's not like expensive. It's not like it's gilded or anything. The other 3 doors are all plain banded iron and wood.
Alright, I will make my way towards the northern door, and I will check for traps or if it's unlocked.
Make me an investigation check.
Right.
Is not trapped, is locked.
I will try my best to unlock it.
Alright, make me a Thieves' Tools check if you are proficient. Fantastic. 25, yeah, does it. About 4 minutes worth of work. There is a solid sort of click. Much lighter than you were expecting. You're expecting a very heavy lock based on the pattern of the door and the impressive degree of construction that all the regular doors within this space have. But it's a very light lock. But it is now unlocked, if you would care to
Should
open
worry
it.
me,
Pardon?
but it doesn't work.
No.
I said that should worry me, but that doesn't worry me enough to not open the door.
Okay.
Gotta take some chances.
Yep.
You open the door and gaze at the open top of a square stone sarcophagus that is about 14 to 15 feet in length. Occupied by a corpse wrapped in linens of appropriate stature. Sort of stare at it for a moment. As you do, you hear a voice sort of in the back of your head. Not audibly, not the rest of you. Only Aeolus hears. sort of clicking their tongue at you. No, dearie. As the voice fades, you see the corpse lift a hand and grab the edges of the sarcophagus. I need all of you to roll into initiative.
What? Would I
Oh,
have
shit.
time to
Nope.
close the door and to just give like the
Nope.
blankest Scooby-Doo stare?
Nope.
Let's go.
The Walking Dead are here.
All right, into initiative. As the corpse sort of grabs the edge and spends part of their movement sort of rising from the sarcophagus, their form towers over you, their head almost scraping the ceiling as they push out past you. Make sure I'm on the right layer. Into the space. They are going to make 2 attacks at one at Aeolus and one at Dunnan. Aeolus, 19 to hit you.
It's
You take 10 points of bludgeoning damage, 9 points of necrotic damage. I need a Constitution saving throw. I believe you get a bonus since you are... Is it 10 feet, Dunnan, for your aura?
Yes,
Yeah.
10 feet. +4.
+4, so it's a 15? Okay. Dunnan, 24 to hit you.
Yes.
6 points of bludgeoning and 11 points of necrotic for 17 total.
Is it magical? Bludgeoning?
No, it is not. So 3 points of bludgeoning and 11 points of necrotic.
14.
And I need a con save from you as well, please.
Aye.
You're fine. As this sort of shambling, linen-wrapped, massive corpse strides forward and just wails on both of you that have disturbed its rest. No sound comes from it, but the entire vicinity, this whole room, drops about 30 degrees instantly. Your breath is now fogging as you exhale here and there. That brings us to Aeolus's turn. At the start of your turn, you take 6 points of cold damage, Aeolus.
okay.
And you may go normally.
Alrighty. First
You
things
still have
first.
your right up, correct? Is it radiant or is it your lightning right?
It is my cold right.
Cold, noted.
Yeah, I'm gonna swing at this thing.
Sure.
Can't quite get into positioning for flanking, so
Um, 14 does not hit. Just missed. 19 does hit.
alrighty. And then I'm going to use Brand of Castigation.
Okay. So that's the you know where it is type of one, right?
And
Okay.
then if it tries to attack me or a creature within 5 feet, it takes
Deals damage
psychic
to
damage.
you or a creature you can see within 5 feet of you. It takes psychic damage. All right, cool, sweet. The cold damage seems to not have as much as an effect as you were hoping. Everything else seems fine though.
Great.
All right.
Okay, yeah, that's my turn.
All right, that brings us to Dunnan. Dunnan, at the start of your turn, you take 8 points of cold damage. Being in the
Oy.
immediate vicinity of this thing, it's clearly the source of what caused this massive drop in temperature, and being so close to it's actively hurting you.
Did you disturb your beauty sleep? And he will bonus action second level Searing Smite.
Okay.
Since you like to love the cold, and then attack it.
Okay. Hey, a crit hits. Okay. So that is 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 14, 16, 20.
Level
roll
2
me,
Divine Smite.
Roll me 2 more d6 for your Searing Smite, please.
Okay.
Because you upcast it. So we're at 24, 29 points of damage.
And the level 2 Smite in there.
Alright, so that's, it is undead, so that's 4d8.
Yeah. Doubled, right?
So 8d8, yeah. So I'm going to do the 29. 16 and 19. Very good. 29, 45, 64 points of damage. Cycle around.
Second attack, I'll circle
Jeez.
around.
Okay.
Do I flank with Aeolus now?
You do.
Shakes off the shock from the cold aura. Goes in for a second strike.
Yeah. 22 hits. 13, 14, 15, 17. 17 points of damage. Find some good purchase on this as these flashes of light, because you're no longer... did you put your torch out, pardon me, or no?
I think I dropped it on the floor.
You dropped it?
As
Okay.
soon as, yeah. And I summoned the shield with a free action.
Okay, gotcha. So that torch is out now. These flash of light just briefly illuminating the darkened space. You're all relying on your dark vision at this point. Anything else done? Okay. Brings us to Hellarast with the creature on deck.
Okay. I'm far enough away. I'm not taking cold damage, correct?
Doesn't appear to be.
Okay. So do I take damage?
No.
No. Okay.
No,
Um,
I'm saying, yeah. Sorry.
Ellie's a bit disturbed that Aeolus is so compromised already, so she's going to cast life transference.
Okay. What's the range on life transference?
30 feet.
30 feet. Just gotta get a little bit closer.
Yeah, that's fine. She'll step just a little. Let's see here. She'll step to here. That'll be 30 feet, correct?
Yep, that should be.
Okay. So life transference. Cast at level 3. And here's my 4d8.
20.
So
Very good. What does this look like, Hellarast, as you sort of shunt this energy into the space towards Aeolus? What is the visual?
the visual is a lovely spring green ball of swirling light heads toward him and hits him in the chest as it comes out of mine.
As this erupts from you and sort of spreads towards Aeolus, you feel something drawing the energy away. It curves in a way you did not intend towards the massive creature. Aeolus, you receive 0 healing.
Oh, shit. God damn.
As
Does the creature seem to stand more upright?
It does.
Oh,
You're supposed
Okay,
to
so
heal
as a
Aeolus, not
bonus
the creature.
As a bonus action, I'm gonna pull Corin.
Yeah, definitely. Let me grab Corin for you.
woo!
Ah, enemies to steal your healing. Great.
We're only half the party too.
It's the thought that counts.
Yeah.
I'm ready with my backup character. Or
that
to
brings
become a
us
zombie. How about you?
to the creature. I believe, unless you want to move anymore, Helarast.
No, I'm still gonna stay away and cast rather than melee.
Gotcha. All right. It turns once it sort of snags this energy out of the air. It seems that empowered more, and it turns towards you, Dunnan, who just wailed on it. And it's gonna unleash a full bevy at you. Dunnan, 22 to hit you. 12 points of bludgeoning, reduced to 9, plus 10 necrotic, so 19 total. And I need a con save.
Yikes. That shouldn't be
Fine.
disadvantage.
Second attack is a 19. Does that hit you currently?
Yes, it does.
So that's 13 reduced to 10, and 12 necrotic, so 22 total. And another con save.
Oh, yeah.
Dunnan. As this sort of fist clocks into you, you feel your strength sap for a moment. You are paralyzed.
Right.
It turns from you, looks at Aeolus, and will step to here. Brings us to you, Aeolus.
All right. I'm going to swing around and yeah. How high are these ceilings?
The ceiling here is 15 feet. This thing is nearly scraping. It's about 13 feet in height.
All right. I'm going to look it on in and see that he's not moving. I'm going to cast Habitate on him, and then I'm going to push him to the opposite side of the room.
Down towards the south end?
Yep.
Alright, sounds good. Make me an athletics check.
Oh boy.
19. Okay. You get him a good distance. What's your strength score?
16.
16. Okay. So he floats to here immediately.
Okay.
And his trajectory is towards that direction.
Alrighty. I'll hold on to that for right now.
Yeah, you're concentrating. That was your action. Yeah.
And then as a bonus, I am going to, seeing that Cole didn't do a lot, I'm going to drag the solstice, and I'm going to change my Crimson Bright
Okay.
to lightning.
Take another 5 points then.
Yep.
Okay. That'll then bring us to Dunnan. Dunnan, at the end of your turn, you can make another con save. At the end of your turn, Dunnan, this sort of paralysis effect upon you sort of wears off, and you're shifting around. You're about 2 feet off the ground, and you're just wiggling your legs as you're floating towards the opposite wall. That brings us to
Drop me down.
What'll be, Helly?
Oh, my turn.
Yeah. Dunnan's turn is saving against the effect.
It was just floating.
Yeah.
Okay. Of course, Corin is going to attack.
Yep. You can go ahead and move Corin up for said attack.
She'll flank just for fun.
Yep. Right there.
Spirit Strike.
Ooh. She has advantage. Make another roll.
Oh, okay.
because of the flank. She benefits.
Nice.
19 does hit. 10 points of force damage. Does deal full damage there.
Excellent. And then I am going to cast Spirit Guardians.
Ooh, nice. 3rd level?
Yeah.
Okay.
And these are also, even though they're good, they will appear fey and dark and slightly imp-like.
Okay.
And swarm towards as I move forward to get it in there.
Okay, awesome. It's the first time it turn, and we're starts
And
turn
of
there.
course, Dunham and Aeolus spared.
All right, awesome. Go ahead and roll 3d8 damage because it's about to start its turn in that aura. It's a Wisdom save.
Yes.
Wisdom. Oof. No, got a 10. 15 points of radiant damage. Very solid. And you are just mark down that you are concentrating on that. Corin's the one that dealt damage to it, so it's going to try to punch Corin.
Okay.
It's gonna miss with a 9 though.
She's just gonna kind of dance around and laugh in her
Gonna-
little spidery way.
Gonna hit with a 20 though. What's Corin's max HP?
19.
19.
Mhm.
Corbin remains put together, almost disjuncted. 17 total, and the con save doesn't matter for Corbin. So,
Right.
it is going to move towards you. It doesn't seem to care too much about this aura, but that brings us to Aeolus's turn.
All right. Immediately, I'm going to drop Habitate.
Dunnan
And-
drops the 2 feet to the ground.
It was rather unpleasant.
That's just a free action to drop it, right?
Yeah, to stop focusing on the spell. Yeah.
All right. As a bonus, I'm going to drink one of my potions of healing.
Okay. You can go ahead and roll that. You receive no healing. You also started your turn within 5 feet of it.
Yep.
And take 8 points of cold damage.
Alrighty. Seeing that there's no healing, I'm just gonna.
The creature does not seem to be empowered by this. There was not something that sort of went out, but it seems like healing does not function here.
Okay. I will relay that to Dunnan and Hellerast. And I will go to attack. Oh boy. What? Oh.
You need an attack roll in there. You clicked damage, didn't you?
Yep.
15 does hit thanks to the flank.
Alrighty.
Just barely. 11, 8, 19, 21 points of damage. Solid. Second attack roll. 18 also hits. That's 7, 11, 12 points. Yes. Another 12 on top of that. It's taking full damage, radiant and lightning. Both solid choices.
Alright. And that is the end of my turn.
Alright, brings around Dunnan. What'll it be?
Charge in. Whoops,
Oh.
didn't want to do that. I wanted to select my token. Alright, no healing then. We rather bring it down quickly. Flanking with Corin. Does
Yep.
Corin...
Yep. Corin does
yeah.
provide flanking benefits because Corin can be destroyed.
So it's flanked on all 4 sides.
Yeah, it's surrounded, although it's massive. So, 26 definitely hits. 6, 7, 9 points. Anything extra?
Mean damage. No,
Okay.
second attack.
19 also hits.
No.
14.
Dump in. No. Second level.
Second level
smite.
smite. 48.
Man.
How do you want to do this? At 6 points left.
Nice.
Jeez. I
As
splash it into the ground.
you charge in, finally getting your feet underneath you again. Sort of as you were flailing, you just sort of drop into the run, making 2 quick bounds. One hit into the knee to just sort of bring it down low slightly, and then you swing Basher around, swirling it over your head and dropping the head of Basher into its chest. Sort of sinks with a sickening crunch. Make me a wisdom save.
Okay.
You hear in your head a voice, not one that you've heard previously. Speak in Dwarvish. Yes. Good. That's it.
That's good.
Just, yes, good. That's all. Nothing else.
Mm.
That's
Okay.
gonna take the group of you out of initiative. And let's take our mid-session break.
Alrighty.
Okay.
I will cast Cure Wounds on both of them.
Okay. Go ahead and roll that in the meantime.
Okay.
Reacher gets up again.
It's back.
Full health.
What did you guys do last session? This fucking mummy, man.
Ten will be thrilled that she
Sorry,
didn't have to be
Bobby.
in the fight that disables most of her abilities.
How tall are Goliaths?
Goliaths are
And I
7
just
feet
mean with
at
his
most.
creatures.
This is
10 at most.
7 at
So
most.
this was not a Goliath.
No, this was far large, almost twice the size of a Goliath.
Wow.
So who gets the 12? Eolus?
Yeah.
Oh,
No one.
No, the healing functions now. So it
Just
picks
heal
up.
Eolus.
You
I
both
can
pick up
take
12.
care of.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, let's take a break. Back in, call it 7 minutes or so.
Okay.
Yeah.
good.
Alrighty. thing. Group of you take a deep breather. LOS, as you extol this healing magic to your compatriots, it does seem to find purchase within their forms. They are able to safely heal again. This large collapsed form is here in the center of this area now. It's far too massive for any of you to move.
I would like to search it after I cure wounds myself.
Oh, hell yeah. I want to see
go
what's
with-
under all those
9
wraps.
points of healing and 2 points of lightning damage.
I go over to the sarcophagus and try to find anything in there.
Take a look in this sarcophagus. There does not appear to be anything here. There's a small stain on the stone slab that makes up the base of it. It's presumably from when the body was laying. But there's nothing else within it.
Seems like a poor mummy.
As
Anything on the
you-
body?
As Aeolus sort of undoes some of these wraps, you find the desiccated, bluing corpse covered in blue skin. Make me maybe a nature check. Do you have an advantage right now or no?
I do not.
Okay. Based on the bit that you know, and the size of this individual, this is a mummified frost giant. That was not a practice that you knew giants to partake in, though. The practice of mummification. It is unexpected to you, but it's the only thing that sort of fits.
It also kind of explains the whole how the bodies got completely broken.
Dunnan, mark off another torch. I assume you're relighting one, correct? But the one you dropped is out.
Conan, if you don't want to light one of your torches, I can activate the lantern.
That'd be good.
Okay. That's the ghost lantern you carry, correct?
Yep.
Okay. What's the light radius on that one?
30 feet right, and then 30 feet
30.
in.
Nice.
Yep.
Even better than a torch.
Now everyone will know we're coming.
Even better.
Can't it be extinguished, though, and relit? Easier than a torch?
Yeah, it just takes a bonus action.
Yeah.
You're holding the lantern in one hand as you sort of move around.
I lay on hands myself for 20. I was muted, sorry.
Gotcha. Okay. No problem. Dunnan. As you're sort of here for a moment, and you go to lay out hands yourself, you feel this wound that the creature had placed upon you. And it pulses with a racking pain. You take the 20 points of damage that you just healed yourself. And the 12 points the hell rest healed you.
I'm down to 32 again. Correct?
What the hells was that?
It depends if Dunnan reacts to it, but
I don't feel so good. Something's wrong.
I'm gonna stop investigating the frost giant and immediately go over to.
I guess Dunnan
Oh, no.
tumbles a little bit to his knees. Coughs a little bit. Something's wrong.
Um,
I take a look at
Okay.
the wound that creature gave me.
I will take a look at the wound.
It takes you about 2 minutes to remove the requisite pieces of Dunnan's armor. That you can then get the chainmail off that he wears underneath the splint, or as part of the splint setup that he has, and then get at the wound on, we'll call it his shoulder. There's a black rot across his skin at the moment.
Does this look like anything?
Make me a medicine check.
No. Oh no.
Nothing that sort of stands out to you. Your best guess is it looks like very advanced frostbite, of all things.
That could. Sorry. Be right back.
And I would have no idea how, like the treatment for frostbite.
Usually frostbite is treated by amputation.
Oh shit.
I'm back. Sorry.
This may hurt a little bit. I'm gonna touch the wound to see if it reacts.
It's tender, but to you, Dunnan, but it doesn't hurt you. You can feel everything fine.
Can't get worse. Should Ben take a look at it?
Would you be open to trying something?
And I'm not good for anything at that stage, so. And he sits down and pushes himself, rests himself against the wall with the back.
Alright.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna take my last potion of healing and I'm gonna pour it onto the wound.
Okay. He drizzles over the wound, runs down Dunnan's natural dwarven sweater. Dunnan, you're a bit sticky. No
And
effects.
the wound doesn't react.
No, it's not like an open sore. It's just his skin is blighted.
Oh, his skin is. Oh, I thought like there was like an open wound.
No, it's all bludgeoning.
Oh.
It wasn't a slash or anything. Still a valid attempt.
Well, you tried your best, but I think it's. I don't know.
He will have to get or ask 10 to look at it.
Kelly'd like to cast Wheel or Woe to find out if this is. Should we continue to try to heal Dunnan further?
I think it's also.
Okay, so it needs to be a yes or no question.
Right. Should we continue to try to heal him?
Will continuing to heal Dunnan be effective?
Right.
Okay. Go ahead and drop the spell into.
Okay.
I think this is augury, correct?
Yes, it's augury.
Okay. As you cast the bones that you carry for such purpose, you get the result. Nothing. It's not good or bad results for continuing to try to heal him. It's not like you suspect it's not going to hurt him anymore to continue to try to heal him, but it's not going to help him either. Just nothing.
Nothing. Okay. Well. Are you tired, Dunnan? Can you walk, or do you need to just rest?
I think I'm fine with walking. We can't delay around. I have just let 10 take a look at it when we are back. Let's continue for now. I'll stay in the back.
Yeah, I was going to say Helly and Aeolus will flip a coin to see who heads out, who the leader will be. You will? Okay. I'll stay in the back with Dunnan and make sure he's okay.
Sounds good. You have 2 doors, east and west.
Was there anything on the frost giant?
No.
Okay. I'll check the west.
Okay. Go ahead and open it. It is unlocked.
Okay.
And we'll hobble around a little bit.
Is it trapped?
Does not appear to be so.
Okay. I'll open it.
You find a corridor with an ascending staircase ascending away from you.
Okay, I will slowly close that door. I will walk over, let them know, and I'm gonna see if this is locked and or trapped.
Okay. It is unlocked. Does not appear to be trapped.
I'm gonna open it.
Alright. It appears to be a sort of covered supply area of some sort. Give me one moment. Let me grab the description for it. Where are you? There you are. There are a series of jars and crates within this space. The jars seem to be made out of some type of clay, ceramic style of sort of creation of these jars. The space itself is sort of smells pungent, almost medicinal. Smell of oils fill the space, but not fragrant oils. More like oils used to sort of mask more atrocious smells.
Okay. I'm gonna take a few moments and I'm gonna look through the clay pots and the crates.
Make me a medicine or nature check, your choice.
Let's go with nature.
Sure. Fine. You don't have first-hand experience, but your training, you sort of understand the concepts of these. These appear to be embalming fluids within the jars that have.
I was muted, but yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, they have since spoiled. They are valueless at this point. The crates themselves have what at one point were probably fresh linen wraps, but have since succumbed to moths eating them. So as such, they're no longer useful.
Step out of that room.
A few snacks.
Step out, close that door. All right, so we can go back the way we came or head up. What would we like to do?
Maybe we should try to get back with the rest of the crew because Dunnan is so compromised.
Don't worry about me. I'm fine. It tries
We're
to
gonna
brush
worry
it off.
about you.
Well, or the two of you can sit tight and I can head up there and see if I find anything within a 5-10 minute walk. And if not, then I'll come back here.
Okay.
I'd rather not let you go alone, but
Corin
See
is
if no
gone at this
choice.
point.
Yeah, Corin's gone.
You move up the
Unless you
steps.
think I should go.
I don't have disadvantage on stealth. Or
That's true.
I'm not wearing heavy armors.
Yeah, you're right. Go.
Okay. You progress along the area. You go up the stairs to a large room. As you enter the room, you did leave the previous door open, so Dunnan and Helleras, you hear this as well. As you enter, and there is cacophonous, deafening laughter echoing throughout the space. Things like thousands of voices just cackling and laughing and ridiculing you as you enter the space. Just keeps going and going. And it's echoing back down to Helleras and Dunnan.
I'm gonna motion to them to close the door.
They can't see you. They're at the bottom of the steps, and there's an angle.
Okay. I'm gonna step closer back the other way. Does the laughing stop?
Yeah, it does.
Did you guys hear that?
Hear what?
Yeah. The roar of laughter.
No.
Didn't hear anything?
Alright, cool. Awesome. I'm gonna go back up.
Okay. It begins again as soon as you enter the threshold of the room. It is. You are effectively deafened while in this room because of how much sound is bouncing throughout the space.
Okay. I'm just gonna slowly press forward to get a layout of the room.
So the room's decently large. You see that there is a corridor that angles up away from you to the northwest. That also appears to be made out of sort of worked stone and well-made walls. These walls are not adorned with anything, such as some of the other chambers through which you've been. There is another corridor that appears to be natural stone, where sort of the wall's been made such that it was probably intended to be a corridor at one point. It just never got finished. Off to the west. That's your nearest exit to the room.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to step forward and look at what's in this alcove.
In this space, there are 4 plinths. These are about 6-inch square columns that stand 4 feet in height, each of them. Upon the top of each of them is a skull. Each of the skulls has been coated, it seems, or maybe forged or crafted in some way, in a impossibly reflective metal. Mercurial, almost. So there are 4 skulls, each on their own plinth. Pedestal. More of a pedestal.
Alright, I'm going to take note of that, and I'm going to slowly and attempt stealthily make my way to the corridor.
Okay. You push along, you see nothing of interest or note immediately.
I'm going to start moving up the edge, keeping my eye out for pressure plates that we have stepped on before.
You hear the sounds of flowing water moving, sounds like beneath you as you sort of push along this corridor. You do not see any immediate pressure plates, though.
Okay. We're going to continue along.
Continuing along, the corridor terminates as it makes another 45-degree turn to the left, to the west, in a door. It is an iron door. The entire door is metal, not wood.
Okay. I'm going to look for any trapping mechanisms and if it's unlocked.
Make me an investigation check for traps. Do not see any traps immediately.
Okay.
Does not appear to be locked.
All right,
There's no keyhole of any sort that you would suspect would indicate a lock of some sort.
All right. I will make my way back to Hellerast and Conan.
Okay.
And will inform them of what I saw. So there's a room. There's what looks like an unfinished corridor immediately across from where we enter. When you step in, there's loud laughing. There's also 4 skulls that look plated, like, naturally in some sort of metal. And at the other side of the room, there's a hallway with a iron door.
So what now?
You didn't try to go past the door? Did you listen?
I heard water as I was making my way towards the door. Seemed like it was underneath me.
No. And that was, you were barely able to hear that with the laughter going on, which echoes. Hellerast and Dunnan, you could both also hear the laughter. It echoed throughout the entire space.
Oh, okay.
That's not the first time we heard that.
No, all of you heard it. It is deafeningly powerful within that space, and it echoes to every open area that space connects to.
Well, one can easily go mad if he hears that for an extended period of time.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, we are the bloody mad dogs, so we can't go any madder.
I can look up the corridor or see what's behind the iron door, or all of us can just go so that we're closer.
I think we should accompany you now. I'm feeling a little bit better. Still stay behind.
Alright. And Aeolus will lead the way up to the door.
Okay.
I
could jump your tokens if you want.
As we pass the alcove, am I able to remove one of the skulls off of the plinths?
Which skull? Left mid, right mid, or right?
Ooh, choice. I'm gonna motion for them to back up, and I'm gonna take right mid.
Right mid. You reach out. Touch the skull. It is cool to the touch. Similar to the nature that you suspect is metallic. Stays cold. As you try to lift, it does not budge.
Are the mouths hanging open on the skulls?
No. The jaw is present, but the mouths are not open.
Can I try to turn the skull?
Manipulate it as you like. It does not yield to your ministrations.
Okay. I'm gonna try the rightmost skull.
You reach
Is
out to
that-
the rightmost skull. You touch it. It is cold. Does not yield to any of your ministrations.
It's... Why? Is these things laughing? What? I don't understand. Alex just stalks up to the door. I'm gonna slowly open the door.
You try to pull on the door. It does not budge.
I try to push the door.
Try to push on the door. Just in case you misread the sign on it. It does not budge.
God damn it. Alice stalks back down and goes to the left skulls and tries to move them.
It does not budge. Neither of them move.
Alice just shrugs and just goes to the hallway.
Just give up.
Maybe
already.
we have to hit them with some magic.
What? Can't hear you.
He can't hear you. You guys cannot hear each other within this chamber.
I just motion him for Heliras to use some spell on one of the skulls.
I walk up to the left mid skull and I shocking grasp it.
Nothing happens.
No. And then I slowly mouth, "This thing is fucked." Just make my way back down.
There any inscriptions on the wall? Any hints you might have missed?
None that appear to be in this
Just
space.
just a blank wall.
Yeah, these are
Okay.
cleanly made stone walls. They're carved nicely. But they're your initial impressions, especially with the light that Aeolus is, the lantern that he's carrying. There's nothing that sort of stands out here. 4 skulls and a room full of laughter. Beyond that, it looks like a normal room.
Can I try to light the skulls with my torch?
And touch
Hold
the
up
torch to one of the skulls. Doesn't seem to react to the torch in any type of way. You hold the torch there for a moment.
Yeah.
Nothing. You pull the torch away. It's not blemished by soot in any way. So the only thing that sort of stands out to you as slightly different is you would have expected some soot to accumulate. It's not like you have the cleanest burning torches in the world. But even that's not there.
Meanwhile,
That's a
Aeolus
truck.
is trying to like poorly motion. Like maybe this is something for Willem, and can't think of like a motion for Willem, and will just like make like a sad face with magic casting motions. Just walk in the hallway. When we reach this point, I'm going to hold my hand out and extinguish the lantern.
Noted. Heliras, are you keeping pace with them? I think Heliras is muted. I assume she is.
Sorry. I've been talking and talking. Yes, no, it's fine.
As you the 3 of you exit the chamber, the laughter ceases almost immediately. and you peer into a grotesque room. The space here appears to be to the south. Let me jump your thing.
Alright,
Make sure
then
that
I'll...
the space here appears to be the scene of some type of fight at some point. There is blood stains everywhere, and the bodies of about 7 gnolls are scattered, broken in pieces all throughout this space.
What? How close is the closest body?
I'd say 5 feet away from you, 10 feet away.
Alright.
It looks like they're sort of spread evenly. None of them are really in the center of the room. There's parts of them in the center of the room, roughly sort of hodgepodge, but the larger pieces are all towards the different walls. Off to your left, the east of the map, as you enter, is a inclined sort of cliff that sort of scales up into a corridor that curves away from you.
Alright, I'm gonna slowly make my way over to the closest gnoll body. Can I tell if these are recent?
Make a medicine check for that. Appears to be. Probably expired sometime in the last 10 days.
Alright,
Maybe about a 10-day ago. Pardon me.
I'm gonna slowly make my way into the space, and I'll turn to Helleraston and cut in. I think we may be getting closer.
Make me a history check or a nature check, your choice. All of you can actually make this.
Let's see here.
Okay. Dunn and Hellerast, respectively. The two of you, this is the third, at least, maybe fourth piece of sort of grisly demise that you've encountered as a group. Aeolus mentioned some of the bones were broken in and stuffed into a barrel somewhere else. Gnolls have particularly dense bone structures. They have bones that are very, very difficult to break. Whoever did this had immense strength to annihilate these bones and sort of tear these gnolls apart.
Oh. Maybe there's more than one frost giant?
Perhaps this is something we shouldn't be tackling alone.
As you enter the space proper, Aeolus, you see there is a cliff edge off to your right, which is west of the map, with a very narrow and quite steep sort of staircase sort of cut into it, about a 60-degree incline on the staircase that goes down into a glowing bioluminescent field of mushrooms down below you.
Sorry, I had
down this way.
a momentary flashback to field of mushrooms.
Well, would a frost giant even be able to navigate through this space? I mean, they are pretty big.
They got one in here. I don't know. I'm just trying to figure things out.
Can I take
Thinking
a
out
look
loud.
at the gnolls?
Sure.
Does one of them stand out, or are they all like the same?
I'm gonna guess they're the slaves.
As you take a look through,
Probably.
none of them are well equipped.
Mm.
They all appear to have very basic, sort of rusty tools. You only find a couple small rusted, beyond practical use, short swords and daggers among them.
I think you are right.
They were not sent
Eliris.
in here as fighters.
Yeah, these were the slaves the Goliaths were talking about. Well, seems like they find their end here. Did find their end. What are you looking at, Yolas?
There are some interesting mushrooms down here.
Oh boy.
Keep Willem away.
I just want one. That's all.
Hold on, I'm gonna tie a rope to you first in case you just pass out or something. We can pull you out of there.
Yeah, just make sure to not slam my head on the steps.
We'll
No
see.
guarantees.
Well, thanks. After a rope's secured, I'm gonna slowly make my way down.
Okay. Proceed down. On your leash. What's your passive perception?
Passive is 21.
Okay. Noted. You proceed down. The smell is earthy here. This is not made of stone slabs on the ground here. You smell dampness. You still smell the continuous presence that you've sort of detected already. But the ground here is earthy. It's made of very dark swale.
Are there any cracks, footprints, claw marks?
Make a survival check. You do find some footprints. A slender foot is sort of ahead of you. It looks like it's progressing in the same direction from whence you've come, so you're following the tracks of the, as it were. It is barefoot, 5 toes. Looks unshoed, but humanoid.
I'm going to motion up to them that I found something, and I'm going to continue to follow the tracks.
Okay. I'm gonna move your token. You get to about here, and your leash is now taut. Off to your right, which is north on the map, at this point, you see a flowing sort of underground river. It's not rapid, just gently flowing.
Ellie will give him some slack. She'll step down into the first place. He didn't die.
I will also take part of my rope, and I'll extend myself. Extra slack.
Okay.
So to the right is the river.
Yep. There's a small bank off around the edge here, it appears.
Okay. I'm going to step up and to just...
Okay. Make me a acrobatics check. At this point, you are carefully stepping around mushrooms, but you are also then dragging something along the ground behind you, effectively at this point, which can break mushrooms.
All right. I am going to untie the rope for myself.
Okay. Sounds good.
Taking a closer look at the mushrooms, do they look like the same mushrooms that have been growing on the undead corpses?
No. These are far different. These are growing quite well. Some of them have a diameter of a few feet at most at the caps. There are some very small ones, large ones. There are all manner of mushrooms throughout here. Make me a nature check. I would say you have advantage on this. 21. At first glance, do you have the lantern up at this point? Oh, never mind. Dunnan is carrying a torch, so you have light to discern color. That's why I asked.
Okay.
So with the ability to discern the color, you recognize a few different species. There is shimmercap fungus, twilight glow shroom, starfrost mycelium, emberheart fungus, and crystal bloom toadstool that you catch immediately, sort of scanning throughout the space. None of them are particularly devastating or dangerous. Shimmercap fungus spores, in the right concentration, are known to cause unconsciousness and a sort of sleep-induced state.
Okay.
You would know this with a 21 check, but you are able to carefully sort of pick your way through to avoid knocking any of them over. Now that you have untethered yourself, so that way you don't cause a spore cloud.
Okay. Am I aware of any mixtures or any tonics that would use any of these?
Make a history check for me, please.
Come on, roll high, please.
Nice roll. Most of these are used in herbalism and magical remedies. They're not really used in your practice.
Okay.
Fungi and mycelium don't cross paths with your type of tinctures quite as often as they would with such as in an herbalism shop.
Right.
Different branch of alchemy.
I would like to try to take a decent bit of each that I'm able to like put into my pack so that I can bring them back to Madam Toetooth.
Okay.
When we eventually get back.
Make me a sleight of hand check.
Oh boy. Could I try to guidance myself with this?
You would. This would be something you would prepare to do. So yes.
Damn it, guidance.
How many hit points do you have at the moment?
31.
You break the piece of shimmercap fungus that you were trying to harvest, and you feel that wave of lethargy hit you. You don't sort of drop into this magically induced unconsciousness, but you do gain a level of exhaustion from it immediately.
Yep, that's par course. I'm gonna stop messing with that.
You are able to harvest samples of the others. The Twilight Glow Shroom, the Starfrost Mycelium, Emberheart Fungus, and Crystal Bloom Toadstool. You do get samples of each of the other four. Shimmercap Fungus is the only dangerous, so to speak, one within this space.
Right. Okay. I'm going to point those out, and I'm going to let Dunnan and Helleras know.
Your curiosity saturated now.
Yeah. I would say with your exceptional nature and history check back to back, you know that Shimmercap Fungus is particularly useful in the field of herbalism cures because it can be used to induce a sleep-like state while someone is healing from a particularly painful injury. But it's difficult and dangerous to harvest.
Okay. Alright, so I will make a mental note if it ever comes up again where a plethora of these are.
Mm-hmm.
For the moment, and just be careful around them. And I'm just going to...
Are you following the footsteps, or are you just
advice.
taking one of the paths?
I'm going to follow the footsteps.
Okay, that
And
leads.
I'm going to point them out.
That leads this direction into continuing into the mushrooms.
Helly has an idea, but I need to ask you if Corin has intelligence.
What is your idea? Like, you
My
understand
idea
Corin has
is
a
to-
concept of intelligence, yes.
Okay. Sending Corin to harvest, like 30 feet away, harvest at least a decent amount of the shimmer cap.
I would say Corin lacks the dexterity to be able to do so.
Okay.
Without causing a spore cloud. And the
Well,
spore
that's
is what...
should be 30 feet away.
Yeah, but the spores is what you want when you're harvesting them because of the medicinal use of that. You need to have that
Right.
contained. So
Okay.
it's a
never
good
mind.
question though. Yeah. It's the main use of it, and Aeolus would know this, is to be able to use those spores for their purpose, and they need to be fresh when used for that. So, she'd be able to get samples of the mushroom itself, just it would not have a spore cloud ready to go, so to speak.
So if we were able to grab a mushroom without the spores, would we be able to cultivate more?
You do not know. It is not your branch of expertise.
Right. Okay. All right.
You need to.
The footsteps.
You need someone that has expertise in an herbalism kit to be able to accurately answer that question. No one within the party has that, including 10. 10 has proficiency, not expertise.
Right. Okay.
You can go ahead and proceed up to Hereish. Following the footsteps. Your passive is sufficient. As you follow the footsteps, they appear hurried. There's a deep dig on the ball of the foot, and a deep dig on the heel. But the middle of each footprint is relatively shallow, which would indicate running to you. Your vision catches a series of knocked over stalks up ahead of you, which are shimmer cap fungus. Following the path slightly, about 15 feet ahead of that, you see the unconscious form of a elven woman up ahead.
Okay, is it down here or up here?
I'm getting the token right now.
Okay.
Right there. I think it popped up for you, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yep. I'm gonna motion out to them, to Hellerast and Tannen. And there's someone face planted.
Seemed like to be in a hurry, judging from those half-broken mushrooms here.
Maybe
That's
they'll
fine
be
for
able
them.
to tell us what's down here.
If she's friendly. But they are friendly.
Oh! Only one way to
Only
find
one way
out.
to find out.
I'm gonna slowly make my way over.
Yeah. Carefully picking your way around the things. The ones that have been knocked over have already sort of released their clouds. You come to the form. She is dressed not terribly modestly, but not terribly ostentatious either. She has a simple gown on. It looks like maybe a priest's garb of some sort. It's been tattered and torn, though. It's heavily stained with the dark earth of this space. She has a few scrapes and bruises along her hands. There's a sore mark. It looks like been rubbed raw along both of her wrists. She has sort of a mossy coloration to the hair. It's like dark brown, but feels like there's a undercurrent of green throughout it. It's a interesting style. You suspect something that she's done for herself. Her feet are blackened and bruised, and there's a few cuts and scrapes upon them. She's clearly the individual who made the footprints you've been following.
Okay. I'm going to gently try to wake her.
You give her a shake. Give her a harder shake, and she... She comes to with a start and sort of looks at you wide-eyed. Oh, you're not
Are
them.
you okay?
Oh my. It scared me. Thought you were those brutes.
The ones who have been camped outside?
Yes. He sent me in here. And managed to get away from the others. Ran in here. There was something attacking. I didn't see it.
Could you tell if it was a larger creature?
I don't know. I usually have good vision. Everything was just dark. I just started to run. I knew there was a ledge. I tumbled, I fell. There was a little bit of a glow this way, so I followed it.
Are you with those gnolls we found back there?
They were sent in with us.
Oh.
How
Very
many?
nice.
How many others that were not gnolls were sent in?
I don't know. We weren't the first sort of group sent in. There was the 8 of us, I think. But it had been going on for days. Others never came back out. We were told to find something, and we would be allowed to live when we walked back out. I don't want to die in here.
Well, I think that is off the table. Can I look for any signs of she may be holding back information or...
Sure. Give me an insight check.
Yeah. Oh,
That's investigation.
that's investigation.
You don't get a plus 11.
Oh,
She doesn't seem to be holding anything back to you. She seems scared, and the fact that the group of you are not Goliaths, at this moment, because Siegfried is not currently with you, he's exploring some other passageway, we'll say, with Ten and Willem, seems to put her at ease.
What's your name?
My friends call me Peg.
Alright, Peg.
There's P.
You're safe with us now. How long have you been enslaved by those Goliaths, and how did you get into their possession?
So, I think it was better part of few 10 days ago. My sister and I were sailing to Karad, and we needed to get some supplies, and we were ambushed on the. We had to make for land. That was a trap. We got forced into a bog and ran down. I don't know what happened to her. Put in cages with the gnolls were with us, and then carted into the jungle. And lived in cages for a little while and sent here.
And what were you tasked to do by your captors?
We were
To find something down here, or
we were told we needed to enter and find something. We were told we would know when we saw it, and we would be allowed back out.
how long have you been trying to find that thing you're supposed to know when you see it?
Not sure how much time has passed since I came here. Starving, so I'm guessing at least a few hours.
I look
Maybe a
back at
couple
your-
days?
Do you have some rations for her? And I offer her my water skin. Here, take a sip.
She guzzles at it. Her water skin's now empty.
I'll pull out the pack that I found earlier.
The hardtack? Okay.
Yep.
She ravenously starts sort of digging at it. She's working her way through it, but this is better
Ellie-
than a feast.
I can't remember how it works, but Helly's thinking of trying the azurite pendant
Ah, that is the one that
to make some more water.
yeah, it will refill all of your water skins one use. Effectively. You can do so.
Yeah, better now. Are you hurt anywhere?
Mark off the use of the Azurite pendant. Hello S. You can just take it out of your inventory.
Okay, so it's gone now.
It's gone now. All of your water skins are refilled, ration-wise. And her thirst has been slaken, I think. And the group of you will not start to suffer the effects of exhaustion for not having fresh water. So you're good. Sorry, what was the question for her?
They are better now. Are you hurt? Can you stand?
She sort of reaches up to grab your hand for some help getting to her feet. And gets unsteadily up. Thank you. You're very kind. Sort of pats your shoulder and sort of rubs it for a moment. You're more well equipped than the other slaves they sent in.
No, we are not particularly slaves. We are adventuring group.
You chose here. Oh my.
Well, we go where we are called. And
Better hope they don't find you.
so far, we managed to stay hidden. So
Yeah,
you have
we're not
no
too
idea.
worried.
You have no idea we're here. So I think your best bet is to stay with us for now. And
As long as
maybe
I wouldn't impose.
you could help us around here. I mean, you've been going in and out here for a couple of days, so you might have little understanding of the layout of this, whatever this is, cave, temple.
I'm not familiar with the magics here. Mushroom field's new. Sorry, I was running when you got attacked. There's sort of a mausoleum hallway that leads to the sort of temple entrance that we had taken. I'm not sure where you've been. If we come to a space that I'm familiar with, I can let you know.
It's more than enough.
I'm just gonna slowly make my way over here.
Okay. And a glance around the corner, you see more bioluminescence. It seems like the mushroom field continues with another sort of outlet onto this underground river.
I'm just gonna walk to the entrance.
You see off to the south of the chamber a set of stairs descending into this mushroom field here.
Okay. I will call back. Stairs up ahead. And a whole lot of mushrooms, so be careful.
Understood.
I'll just make my way, trying to hug the wall as much as possible.
Sure. As the group of you proceed, you all hear the notable sound of crunching coming from Peggy eating the hardtack. Or Peg eating the hardtack. Behind the group of you. You're sort of just like looking around, very careful to avoid the mushrooms following your footsteps.
I'm going to head up these steps.
Okay. You proceed up the steps, you get a small breeze on your face. It's not unwelcome compared to the stale air through which you've been trudging, but it's unexpected.
Does it smell like fresh air?
It does.
I'm going to motion to Tannen, and I'm going to extinguish the lantern again, and then head up. And we'll try to sneak my way into this intersection to see what's over here and what's down here, and which way the breeze is coming from.
Okay. It seems to be coming from the south.
All right, I will step over here and look about the space.
Okay. Taking a look through the space, it seems like it is a crypt that was designed to be so, but never received its occupant. Based on the carvings, that seem to resemble almost sort of hieroglyphic-esque prayers, similar to that of the agrarian paintings that you saw in the room surrounding the frost giant mummy.
Alrighty. Make my way back over here. Keeping my eye out for pressure plates and whatnot.
You proceed, and there's a small incline above you, sort of this ramp up as the area opens, and you can see sort of a rock feature that obfuscates. What you notice is an entrance to the cave network here. It opens and you see starry night sky ahead of you, slightly cloud covered. It is cleverly disguised, and made, as you sort of look back, it looks like it's made to look like a natural alcove in the rock as opposed to an actual entrance into the tunnels here, and has been carved very carefully to look like such. It is
Okay.
also about 90 feet off the ground.
I'm gonna slowly make my way to see if I can spot anything below, any fires.
As you take a sort of surreptitious glance out, you do see cook fires. You see watch fires. You see torches. There is not quite a legion, but metaphorically a legion of individuals down below that are sort of camped on the outskirts of this space.
I'm gonna slowly make my way back. I will let Tunin and Helleras know what is back that way.
Okay. As you proceed back down, you realize this whole corridor is sort of on this incline, leading up to this high altitude exfil location.
Okay.
So, dead end.
Well, worst comes to worst, it's an exit.
That is true. But how do we
Maybe
jump
so.
off the
Yeah.
cliff?
I have a way to slow most of us down.
Most?
We have ropes.
I could
Oh.
slow. What I think I was able to use it a long time ago. I can have up to a handful of us.
Featherfall?
Yep.
5 individuals, I believe. Might be
Yep.
6.
5. Well, let's get back to the room with the dead gnolls. I think we're covered the area around here.
They all died?
All
I
of them.
think in a very gruesome way.
Oh. I didn't like them that much, but it still seems morose.
Well, be glad you're not besides them.
Iolus, the water here has that same milky sort of particulate sort of floating through it. There is not a incredibly dense fog that sort of hangs over this. You are able to see to what appears to be a small opposite bank. It's just sort of a cutaway in the rock.
Is there anything over there?
No,
From
appears to
that I
be
can spot?
just a no. It appears to be just a small sort of alcove. It might be viable to take a rest potentially. Although you are right next to the water at that point, if you trust the water.
Right. Well, if we absolutely need to, we can come back here for a rest.
I don't know if I should rest now. And I look at my shoulder. Is it spreading? That
You take a few minutes
No.
to remove your armor and check.
no, just a quick glance. So like,
Can't tell.
Over
You,
my-
you have a Gambison chainmail and splint mail on
Okay.
at the moment.
then
Yeah,
Hmm.
you need to remove your armor and check your wound.
then not. No.
Yeah. Are you keeping with them, Hellerast?
Oh yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna jump your token.
Oh sorry.
Oh, good.
Thanks.
Didn't explore to the south there, right?
Nope.
You're not.
No.
You see a wooden door, rickety looking, sort of set into the stone here.
I'm gonna look for traps.
Make me an investigation check.
Yeah.
Does not appear to be trapped. Does not appear to be locked.
I will try to open the door.
Open it. It creaks. As it opens, a musty smell hits you. This is a drying room for mushrooms.
Oh.
Make a... You are not proficient with an herbalism kit, correct?
I'm not, but I have one
alchemy
on.
tools, correct?
Yes.
Okay, make me an alchemy tools check using your wisdom. DC is higher. It's not this specific branch, but 10. None of these appear to be quite dry. Maybe in a couple days, you could probably get some good supplies from this room. It's just not ready quite yet.
Okay. I'm gonna take a note of where this is.
Yeah.
It's a dry room.
So somebody must be here cultivating those
Mhm.
mushrooms, right?
Yeah.
Has to be.
Hmm.
I'm gonna step up here.
You see across to the far bank. And unlike the other one, you do not see a far wall. It looks like the corridor continues to some extent on the far bank. There are no mushrooms growing on the far side either.
Do we want to investigate over there?
Can we get over there?
We
We
never-
don't know how deep those waters are.
We didn't cross the water. The only ones that we found was that big lake space with the fog.
Yeah, we did come across that too.
I mean, I can always try to get across.
And how would you try to accomplish that?
Swim.
I don't trust those waters.
What if something's in it?
Mm.
Like eels. Yeah.
Or worse.
What's worse than eels?
Crocodiles?
Leeches. Suck your blood. He just sort of does like a leechy hand motion.
What was your profession before you got captured?
I was studying to become an acolyte.
Of who?
So,
I was... hadn't quite decided yet, but I had my hopes to be visited by the Moonweaver.
isn't that like old world pantheon?
What do you mean?
Well, my understanding that is that in here on this continent there is more faith into the kami, into the natural beings, and not into a godlike pantheon. Well, I might be wrong.
I'm not sure which... I mean, you can make prayers to the spirits of the world just as much as you can to the Moonweaver.
I just look puzzled at her and shrug. Alright.
Kelly remembers. Kelly remembers she said she was going sailing someplace with her sister. What was that again?
To Karad, K-I-R-A-D.
Do any of us have any idea where that is?
Make a history check. You've heard that word once previously. It was reported to you from 10 when she did the scouting mission. She overheard the Goliaths say something about they need to get back to Karad, and that was it. You gather it's a place based on both contexts in which you've heard this.
But as from where we are, we've never heard of it.
No.
So we don't know where that portal took us.
With a 22, you do. You carry a map upon which Karad is marked. It is a settlement.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we still don't know what continent we're on.
As far as you know.
Okay. We're assuming we're still where we're supposed to be, but it may not be. So it's interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Oh. She's spoken of divinity in a way that you've not heard people speak of divinity done in. You feel quite self-assured. Nobody you commonly interact with on your day-to-day life in any settlement to which you've been has the same view of divinity as this individual.
Back to the topic, Yolas, you wanted to cross that river?
I mean, I can always try to if we want to see what's on the opposite side.
Does
we can make our way back.
Does the lantern work underwater? I mean, we could lower it down.
I mean, it should, as long as I have hold of it.
Yes, I'm rather not fond to get attacked by something I can't see.
Well, we can always tie a rope to me, and I can enter the water. And if something drags me in, I have you and Helleras to pull the rope.
That's
Back to the rope
presuming
again, huh?
the rope pulls. If you remember those knolls, they were pretty much snapped in half. So
Yeah, but we haven't found them around water.
if you wanna, so fond of trying out and find out.
I mean, we could always make our way back to the rest of the group. We are a little banged up.
And you're also assuming that it is normal fresh water.
You're right.
Like fresh water. Seawater.
I am going to reach my hand in, and I'm going to sample some of the water.
Taste it?
Yep.
It's not salty. Tastes like fresh water. There's a residue to it, though. It's not quite watery. There's an oily substance left behind on your tongue and your teeth. It takes a moment to sort of rub off with your fingers. It's unpleasant.
There's definitely something in this water. But it's water. Just not pure.
Is it ever?
Your immediate survival instincts kick in, Aeolus, and say, this is not water that you would want to rely upon for drinking water, unless you have a way to purify it.
So there
At
may
least
be...
it's safe to get across without the water killing us, right?
Yeah.
You don't feel poisoned. Your stomach is not burning with acid. That doesn't belong there.
I'm going to tie off a rope onto me and the other side to Conan. And I'm gonna ride across.
Okay. With you beginning to cross the river, underground in this chamber, filled with mushrooms and a new compatriot who you have rescued, Peg. We'll pick up there next session.
Okay.
Awesome.
Cool.
I don't know if it's because her name, but I'm getting heavy hag vibes.
Because
I think
Peg?
Dungeons and Dragons discard. I don't know why.
Alright. Just hate all names I come up with. If you can't make fun of the name, just assume it's a bad person.
It's a hag.
Yeah. You've assumed so many. In so many of my games, you've assumed so many individuals are hags at this point.
Because I don't trust someone who just randomly is just in a place.
Everyone's randomly in places.
Exactly.
So you trust nobody.
Exactly.
You thought Matron Toadtooth was a hag.
Everyone's a hag.
Well, yes, everyone's a hag. They're just hiding it.
You thought the old ladies in the swamp in the Tyranny of Dragons campaign were hags.
But they lived in a shack.
Just because they had a jar
That
full of
doesn't mean
eyeballs
anything.
does not mean that they were hags.
Yeah. And they tried to feed us their laundry water.
Well, that was just funny. You've fallen for that trick twice.
That doesn't matter. I've also stepped into
Gogrun's
mysterious
father
fields.
fed you sock water.
Yeah.
That was your first mission.
You know.
How many times has Sam been accurate in his suspicion of
Critics.
him?
Suspicion of hags? I think he's
Uh-huh.
I think
like
he's
once.
I think he's O for everything. Because the one time that it was actually hags, he did not suspect hags until he was confronted with said hags. That was the Sohn sisters.
Well,
Tomb of
see-
Annihilation, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, see, that's also because I've watched and seen so many Tomb playthroughs that I was just like, yeah, no. I'm not gonna go in here and suspect anything.
No. Oh well.